Some of them had a hard time, the Ole Miss kid playing, they had to kneel,
Yeah, there was one other one too, I think, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
I think there was two SEC students, I think.
Yeah, would have been, all in all, it was a good day, and, so,
Get it right.
and, Tennessee won, for those that are Tennessee fans, just barely. I don't know if you'll call it a win. I know they get, they always say, and it usually happens that, teams get better from first week to second, or probably the most improvement. But I did listen to Coach Pruitt talk about, how much they needed to improve on certain things after the game, and you know, one of them was, we gotta get our passes down from our quarterback. And I've been watching him for 4 years, and I thought about that a lot this morning. And, he does do some good things, and he's probably tougher, thick-skinned, because he's been abused verbally by probably worse than any Tennessee player that I've known in my lifetime. And he does a lot of good things. But man, when he throws it over those receivers' heads, when it's wide open, it sort of looks like it's about like my golf game. Some things are just not fixable. And I'm beginning to wonder, if they can't get him fixed, I'm gonna spend whatever it takes to get in front of Coach Chaney or Coach Winkie or whoever fixes him, because miracles do happen and they might be able to fix my golf game. So, I'm not overly optimistic, but, we'll wait till the end of the year. But it was good, a lot of good football games yesterday, so I'm glad to get back to some sort of, normalcy, in life. And
He'll throw them in the dirt next week.
Yeah, that's right, over practice.
Yeah.
I will talk to y'all about, a little history before we get into our lesson, that was interesting to me. Today, if you read it, we're speaking from Romans 10, verses 5 through 17, and that was written by Paul. And he wrote this around 57 AD, and he was writing to the Christians in Rome at the time. And you know, a lot of those were Jewish Christians, and so that got me thinking. Well, did that have something to do with our current Messianic Jews, the ones that believe in Christ? And is that where it started? And so I did a little research, and that's not the case. I think that really started in variations in the 1800s, maybe a little earlier in some cases, but really in the 1960s there was Christian Jews and then the Messianic Jews, and that started later on. But what was going on, I did a little more digging just to set the tone before he wrote the letters. The earliest house churches in Rome would have been primarily Jewish, and culturally that's how they operated. But in AD 49, just before the letters, the Roman Emperor Claudius kicked all the Jews out of Rome, and Jewish Christians would have been in that mix, so they had to leave as well. So during the 5 years between the time they were evicted and the death of Claudius, and before the Jews started coming back, the Christians or Gentiles left that were not kicked out. They kept worshiping, and so they were worshiping with the Jews at the time, and so they kept worshiping in these churches, and sort of became the majority of those. So after the death of Claudius, and the Jewish population started coming back to these churches, they found that they weren't as much in charge anymore, particularly in the Christian teaching churches. So, they sort of started, I guess, becoming more of a Christian Jew at that time than before they were sent out of Rome. And so that was sort of interesting to me, and it puts it in perspective, because when they were coming back to Rome is when, about the time Paul's letter got there to them. And so Paul is going to be talking about, in these verses today, faith and salvation and how you get to heaven. And so I